Welcome back everyone, Josh here. We've got the crew with me today. We've got Josie, Annika, Eileen. As you can see, we've just come off the highway. That's the main highway back this way. That way is east, this way is west. We're going to head out here. We've never actually been to this part of the outback before, so we're going to just go and explore and see what we can find today. We've got some traps, got a rod, see how we go. So we're just heading down the road. Seen this windmill and this tank across the flat, so we're going to head through here. There's not much of a track. Give them a look, Eileen. Generally when you see a windmill and a tank across the flat, a little track going into it, there's generally a big dam in here, but I've never been in here, so we'll go in and have a look. Just coming up into the dam now, and it actually looks pretty good. We've got two little dams actually. We've got one here and one here. So what we'll do is I'll bait a line up, we'll get a line in and see how we go. So I've got these three set up with some liver on a string just to give this dam a bit of a test. And this is the little hole. There's actually been quite a few pigs hanging around this one. You can see all the pig tracks and wallows. I've just come for a bit of a walk around the dam. The girls are over here and I found a definite yabby hole, and it's an absolute monster. It runs up under there. I can feel the opening. I'd say it would come out here and that goes down a fair way. And there's another one up here which actually looks pretty fresh. There's a bit of murky water coming in and out of it. Another one here. That goes right down. As far as that stick goes, bends back in towards the dam. Another one there. And actually there's quite a few along here. I reckon you probably want to bring your lines over here.
Yeah, right.
And we've got another little yabby hole here. I thought I'd just show you. To the untrained eye, it doesn't look like much. You wouldn't think much of it, but just inside, you can see this fresh mud being pulled up in this bit of a formation. That's what yabbies do. So I'd nearly bet that hole goes down there pretty deep. There'd be a yabby in there.
There will.
So the girls are over there mucking around with them lines. We've only been here probably 5 minutes or so. They haven't actually got a yabby yet, but they're getting plenty of bites, which I think might be small fish. And given the size of them yabby holes, what I've decided to do is bait a couple of traps up. I'm going to get two traps in here. There's one here which I'll put near this overflow pipe which runs through into that other smaller dam just there. One trap here, and I might put another trap over there where I've seen them couple of big holes. And if they don't get anything on the lines in another 10 minutes or so, we'll keep moving. We'll set the traps here and we'll check them on the way back. We'll keep going out, and I don't know how long we're going to be or where we're actually going to, but I reckon this dam's worth a shot. So I've come around near the girls. There's a big yabby hole there, just this side of them. And then there's another big one right here, which has a double entrance. I should get out of the sun so you can see it. I'll put a trap right in the middle of them. So we've got those traps set. We're going to actually bail, keep moving along, and we'll come back here and see how they go later. So we'll come down the track a little bit further, come across this little creek, and it's just way too good to drive past. I'll give you a look. Have a look down there. There's an old tree in the water. I reckon summertime, absolutely bloody perfect spot. Nearly guaranteed to be yabbies in here. I'd nearly bet there'd be yellow belly in here, and almost guarantee there'd be carp as well. It's a massive big hole, runs all the way down here, all the way around. We've got Josie there with a little hand line, just a yabby line. We have Eileen here just with a bit of meat on a string. And I should mention, we are in winter now. We're into June. Probably, what's the date? It's about the 10th of June. So we've had frosty mornings, cold weather. So the yabbies are probably not going to be on the bite, but I'm going to throw 2 traps in here as well. And we'll give it 10 or 15 minutes. We haven't got anything on the line. We'll keep going. And when we come back to check the traps, I might even throw, I've got the fishing rod and some worms. I reckon it'd be worth throwing the rod in here for a little while. And I'm not going to go too far with these traps. Literally only just come down the bank here. It'll be as good a spot as any. We'll just lob them out. About there. Nothing too fancy or special. It's pretty deep here. They'll be a few foot deep. Considering the water looks like it's low. I would say that this level here is where the water normally is. We've had a bit of a dry period. There's a bit of rope there. Looks like someone may have been...
Mine.
Oh, it's yours, is it? What'd you bring that down here for?
Because I wanted to whip. Like this.
And I'm not seeing a great number of yabby holes along the banks, actually. Just looking. Not seeing a great deal of any really fresh yabby holes or any sign. Plenty of pig tracks. Looks like a fox track. But we might as well get this trap in. I should mention we're using ox liver or bullock's liver in the traps for bait. I went right out in the middle with that fella. We'll give the lines a bit of a crack. This rod's getting little bites, would be spangled perch, I'd say. We've only been here 10 or 15 minutes at the most. I'm not even going to check them traps yet. We'll keep moving along. That's all the traps I've got. Hopefully we don't find a really good spot and see what we can find along the way. Let's go. So we've been driving through the bush for a little while, having a look at a bit of this and a bit of that, and we've come across something well worth having a look at. I'm going to go for a swim. What we've got is a little artesian bore bar. The bore here is this big pipe that runs down, and it goes down probably anywhere from 1 kilometre to 1.6 kilometres deep, and the water just comes up naturally, and that water coming out of there is about 40 degrees. You can see the steam coming off it. We've got a little pump running over here. There's a drover just over the back, and he's pumping water to the tanks to fill the trough. He's got a heap of cattle coming down. They're not here yet. And another thing which I'm not going to do today because I don't actually know the property owner here, but I'm going to give you a look. What we've got here, this is called a bore drain. So the water comes up out of the bore, which again is just under its own pressure, runs out along this drain, and that'll run for miles and miles. And a particularly good spot for getting yabbies, especially in winter, because like I said, that water coming out of there is 40 degrees coming out. By the time it gets down here, it's actually cooled down, but always water, shallow. They're generally, as you can see, not so much here, but you can see up there further, they're always overgrown with grass. An absolute perfect habitat for yabbies, and particular spot that I've done really, really well in the past is bore drains, which I haven't actually done a video yabby in a bore drains yet, but we'll have to get there one day. So while those yabby traps are having a bit of a soak, we might jump in and have a swim. Middle of winter, and we're going to go for a swim in the outback. And there's actually, these bores are actually scattered all through the outback in this area. We get people from all over the world coming around to various bores. There's actually a really big one, probably, what would I say, southwest of here. Set up like a bit of a swimming pool, and there's always hundreds of people there. This artesian water is actually full of all different minerals, and it's believed that It's got health properties that helps with arthritis, all sorts of things. But like I said, the temperature of this water is about 40 degrees, and it's probably about 18 or 19 today, so it's bloody beautiful.
What type of water is this? Like bore water?
Bore water. And you can even have a shower if you want to. Jump in and have a shower, Joe. As you can see, the water's beautiful and clear.
Guys, there's a ladder over there.
And it's just been made out of 44-gallon drums filled with cement. A bit of Rio welded to hold it in place.
Look guys, there's a ladder.
There's a little ladder there. This is the overflow that runs back out into the bore drain. The worst thing about these bore baths is they relax you too much. I feel like going to sleep now.
I can sleep.
And it's a pity he's got that water pump pumping away there, because it would have been a really relaxing, quiet and peaceful spot. But he's got work to do, so we don't mind. We can put up with a little bit of noise in the background. The water splashing down there makes quite a racket as well. I'll just give you a look, something. All the drovers' cattle are coming over now. You can see them walking over in line. They're actually a Brahman cross, which is referred to as a drought master type cattle, and they're really suited to the outback out here. They live on next to nothing, eat birds, tough as bloody nails, and quite a neat looking cow, to be honest with you. They look like something out of a rodeo. Here comes one around the corner, I'll give you a look. I've got Josie over here wanting to give him a pat. We've got a couple coming over, actually probably wanting a pat. That fella there's a steer. Not too sure, I think that one's a cow. But they're a neat looking cow. They look like something you wouldn't want to mess with. So that's highly recommended. If you ever get a chance, hit up the hot ball baths, the artesian water. Super relaxing. We've been in there for a good hour or so, and we don't feel like doing anything now, just kicking back. It's even better at night when it's really cold, you know, like 0 degrees outside. You climb into the 40-degree water, which we may do. There is a few more about. There's some bigger ones out west, like I said. We may even come back here in the middle of winter, one afternoon, bring the barbie, have a few beers, get in the hot water, make a video, show you at night, and even better at night. And without that damn pump running, that's quite annoying, but he's got a job to do. So we'll head off, make our way back, check these traps. They're going to be in for an hour or two, which middle of winter, you probably want to be leaving them all day, but it'll give us an idea.
Hey Josh, you lost the thong.
Nah brother, found one. So we've made it down to the creek. Still got me bloody wet pants on. It's actually not too bad here today. Better than 45 plus in the middle of summer. So we'll go down here and we'll check this trap. I'm not really too hopeful here because I'm not really seeing many yabby holes. No, not a... Got one shrimp.
Where?
One little tiny shrimp. We've got our second trap. This one may do a little bit better because it's a bit of a shallower part of the creek. Nah. Absolutely zilch in this creek. So we'll keep moving down. We'll go and check these other two. I'm a little bit more hopeful of this dam, although it's the middle of winter. Given them big yabby holes, even if we don't get anything today, I reckon it's going to be well worth coming back. Oh yeah. Yes, two. and about 1 million bugs.
Yo.
Tip all them bugs out. 2 nice size yabbies. Oh, they're a bit slimy looking. Well, that fella there's not too bad actually, he's just covered in dirt. We'll keep them for now and we'll go and check this other trap and see if we've done any better or worse. I was a bit hopeful about this dam and I reckon it's going to be well worth coming back to. We'll just leave them in there for now. So we're at our last trap and we're going to need about 10 yabbies out of this trap to really do any good. What I did notice, which I didn't notice when I set the trap, there's a few yabby claws here sitting on the ground, and where I stuck me label, or me label, which I've got my details on this side of, that's actually a yabby hole, which I didn't even notice. Oh, this one feels heavy, full of bugs. Well, we got one monster fella and about 14 million bugs. Only one, and he's a hardy looking bloody critter, this fella. Check him out. He's got 1 claw, missing half his legs, covered in slime. Probably not particularly something that we really want to eat. Yeah, check that fella out. Missing half his legs, 1 of his claws, which is actually a sign that this dam has probably got a lot of really big ones in here. If we come back at summertime, I reckon we're going to do pretty good. If we can get these few big ones in the middle of winter, I reckon the middle of summer this dam's actually going to be fairly well firing. And given the size of some of these holes here, there's going to be a few monsters. But anyway, we'll head home. We've got something back there we can cook up anyway. Well, we finally made it home. Slaved over a hot stove, cooking all this KFC. Josie's into a crunch twister combo. Annika's got some popcorn. So we end up having a good day out there at the bore. Leave this video here. We're going to get into this KFC and we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye guys. Bye.